Hello my gorgeous makeup loving friends. Hi, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, hi, my name is Teresa and today we are looking at the Lois Cosmetics Meet Me in the Underworld eyeshadow palette. So it looks a little something like, this. A beautiful grungy, I was going to say nightmare because I mean it's a tragic story, but it is bloody nice. It came in this beautiful packaging. I mean, look at that. There's a story behind it. I talk a little bit about that, but this was sent to me in PR free from Lois, so we have to make that very clear. I'm also quite friendly with Lois. That being said, I'm still going to be really clear on things. If there's something I don't like, I'll say it. She put my name on it. She does that for everyone. That was not just a me thing. That's something she does. And the packaging is gorgeous. So she's put in like these little leaves, and it's just like little touches like this that I think just make something really, really special. So if you want to see swatches, a tutorial, and an overall review of the palette, then this is the video for you. Do please keep on watching. I have a bare face, so you know that means swatches. And I have the Meet Me in the Underworld eyeshadow palette by Lois Cosmetics. It is based on the Orpheus Eurydice's Greek mythology myth, essentially, where Eurydice dies and her husband, Orpheus, travels down to the underworld to try to get her back, but Hades tells him not to turn back or look around or he will never see Eurydice again. Unfortunately, Orpheus kind of figures that Hades is trying to trick him, so he turns around and he immediately sees that Eurydice disappears. So this is all about that particular story. And this, I mean, the outside of the packaging, let's just say, I mean, that's beautiful. And this is the beautiful grungy inside. Oh, I mean, so I'm obviously going to swatch these, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go column via column rather than row by row, because each row seems to have a kind of a very specific-ish story, color story rather. So I'm going to go with that. Oh my god, this is the first time I'm swatching them, and that was like butter. How was that matte like butter? Witchcraft? Okay. Let's remain calm, Teresa. We have Poetry, Eurydice. Oh, that's pretty. This is the one that I thought felt very soft, like weirdly soft. This is Snakebite. I'm like those KVD Good Apple Balm foundation reviews. Like, oh my god, the coverage, but legitimately, look at that. What? Brilliant. And then this is Tragic Love. Oh, look kind of similar to each other, but you can see that this one is more red toned. So I'd say once you buff that out. Very excited. Again, there was something to do with like the formula from Footsteps is very soft. Don't know why I'm saying things in that way, but there you go. We have Lyre, L-Y-R-E, not like liar, liar, pants on fire. That's pretty. That's very nice. We have Hades. I mean, that makes sense as Hades, doesn't it? We have Footsteps. This was very, very buttery. Nice. And we have Melody. Don't be jealous of my lovely moustache. So we're now onto the green section. So it is like a pinky, greeny palette, which I am not against because I think pinks look very nice on me, and it is all about me at the end of the day. We have Enchanted. Look at my chin. Muses. Nymph, because focus, Eurydice was a nymph. Beautiful. And Woodland. All of the names make an awful lot of sense considering the story. So I'm like, okay, I respect that. I respect that. And this is the very last column. Now I'm not dipping into these massively. I mean, I'm just You can kind of see, like, these are very gentle swatches, because if there's anything I've learned from Lois Cosmetics, a little bit packs quite a punch, and the worst thing you can do is to put too much on. You've just wasted product. So this is Forest. Oh, that was lovely. That was very nice. I'm running out of face space. I'll put one here. Okay, so this is Orpheus. Oh, well, that is nice. We have Myth. And look, I mean, I had to do this. This is Underworld. Oh, that is a very good black, isn't it? Focus. Me, not the camera. I mean, they're beautiful. I'm beautiful. This is all going to go swimmingly well. So if you want to see what look I'm going to make with this isn't the look, by the way. Although this is obviously perfect for a trip to Tesco, this is not the look. So if you want to see what I have done with this palette and see the overall review, those are the next sections of the video. Don't just X out right now. You'll miss out. So this is the eye look that I came up with. You can see it there. It's pretty simple, but I wanted to use as many of the shades as possible. So we're gonna do it together. I obviously already have my eyelid primed. I am taking this Jessup 223 Petite Eye Blender. And, ooh, excuse me, as I clash through my makeup table, I am going into the shade Enchanted, which is this absolutely beautiful green. Now, Lois had said you may need to build it up. I didn't really find that, not with this one anyway. So you can see it turns up straight away. I mean, look at that. So I'm just applying that to the inner corner, swishing back and forth. Gives you this beautiful metallic sort of a sheen. I had absolutely no problem blending these. This is the second time attempting to do this. I started off on this eye, obviously, and I screwed it up because I screwed up my liner, but I ended up using a different liner in the end. I think this looks nicer because I had like a hot pink, and then I was like, oh no, this looks much nicer. So yeah, I am happy with where I went in the end. So taking the same brush again, and I am going into Nymph, which is a really lovely kind of like, not emerald green, but like not far off it. And I'm just patting it down first. And then blending. Not that this is a like an out and out tutorial, because you will find much better stuff out there on how to do this, but look, it's a nice simple look. And sure, look, we're in this together, aren't we? Yeah. I was so afraid that I wouldn't like this palette, because at this point now I'm actually friendly with Lois. I have annoyed her enough to make her be my friend. So I was like, oh God, what if I hate it? What if I don't like it? But no, even the colour story speaks to my broken soul. Same brush again, and I'm going into Myth, which is this fabulously camely brown. Now, and it comes up kind of like mustardy. It's really odd, in a good way, and which is unusual for me because I'm not a lover of browns. Sorry, I just, you know, if you love brown, that is fantastic. I'm delighted for you. Love that you love something that much. It is not for me though. I do not that I don't appreciate it. I'm just like, this was not made for me, and that's okay. And I'm just packing it down. You can see you're getting really nice pigmentation. Is this a bit slapdash? Yes, but look, trust the process. You don't have to trust me, but just trust the process. And then I have this Sigma E36, which is, let's face it, through the mills. And I'm going into Enchanted again, which was the first shade. And I'm just going to lightly go back and forth there, just to kind of ease the transition between the two. she said, talking as if she knew what she was talking about. I don't. I actually don't. I'm just bluffing with confidence. And then I'm taking the same brush again and going into Nymph, which was that fabulous green. And just back and forth. Back and forth. I'll pop a bit more on here as well, because I think it needs it. There we go. So you can see they blend actually quite nicely. I'm going to take the E36 and I'm going to go into Myth. I'm having a moment where I apparently can't remember things, and just kind of swish that back and forth. I know, horribly technical. You learn all of the techniques here. Sure, look, it is what it is. So then the next thing we have is a Lois Cosmetics brush. Now she hasn't named them. I've spoken to her about this. She'll get there eventually. So it's a nice little domed brush, and I'm going into the shade Forest, which is just a really nice kind of a dark shimmer, and I'm popping that on the inner corner and kind of working it a little bit just so we're getting a little bit of depth, because I am going for quite a grungy look, if you can't tell. I mean, if not, Jesus, are you all right? I'd have thought it was pretty obvious what it was that I was doing. Oh, I just think this is so pretty. So pretty. And do you know what I love? I love that she really took the kind of feedback from previous palettes and ran with it. So what I mean by that, I'm taking this brush again and I'm going into Woodland. What I mean is that the Gone Rogue palette was her colourful palette, and it was seen as, you know, quite a bit of a success. I myself absolutely loved it, but some people weren't very keen on there being a pressed glitter in it. Now, personally, I don't mind. I quite like a pressed glitter, you know, or as my friend Tia calls it, clitter. Clitter, clitter, clitter. So she listened, and there are no pressed glitters in this palette. There are just these beautiful mattes and gorgeous shimmers. So she doesn't release constantly, and that's because she's actually sitting there having to think about what it is that she's coming out with, which is nice, rather than just churning stuff out. Like, doesn't that make a nice difference to us all? There we go. I think that is, well, quite nice. I'm now taking this other Lois Cosmetics brush. Forgot that I used that, but there you go. And I'm going into Underworld, which is this black. Now, this is fairly pigmented, so you just go very, very lightly with it. So I'm popping it just here into the inner corner. Or not inner corner, outer corner. My God! I can tell it's late at night. I was so excited about getting to get this. Like, I was actually waiting by the door. That is not even a lie. I was so excited about this because I knew it was coming today. Like, I couldn't wait. It's just me sitting in the hallway waiting for the postman to arrive like a complete lunatic, being like, oh my God, it's here. I don't think I have been this excited about anything in a really, really long time. Like I said, you can see this is very, very pigmented. So you have to be super careful with this one. Super careful. Super. But you can see, look at how easily that blends out. And blacks are a bee to blend out. Now, I had to use one of her lashes to go with it. I think I used Striking. So yeah, you can see it blends really, really nicely. What I'm going to do is take the same brush and go into Woodland again, which was that nice kind of swampy green. Swampy, swampy, swampy. And just bring that down there and just blendy, blendy. Like I said, it's simple. I like simple. I'm tired and I'm old and I don't want anything too difficult for me. You know? And taking this brush again and going into Myth, that lovely tan sort of colour. And then bringing it down here as well. Is it really bad that I'm just too lazy to, like, you know, get new brushes and use them? Like, no, I'll just put the same brush in again. La, la, la. It's fine. It's fine. Do the eyes match? Not really. I'm just taking more of Myth and popping that on there because it was more Myth heavy over on the other side. And just swishy, swishy. I'm quite happy with that. Yeah, so what I'm going to do now is off camera I'm going to cut the crease and I'm going to put on some liner. So I have the Sheen liner in the shade Mellow and we'll come back and just finish off the rest of it. It's very, very simple, I promise. So I'm back and I've obviously done my liner. You're very welcome. And I'm taking my Jessup 237 brush, which is always a favourite of mine. And I'm going into this beautiful shade called Snakebite. And then what I'm going to do is put Poetry on top of it because it just kind of gives like a little sparkle, but it's predominantly Snakebite that's underneath it, just FYI. So I'm popping that there. Well done me on getting like a bit of liner onto my lid. Shows how quickly I do these things. Don't even notice. There, better. Sorry. So I'm just continuing on with Snakebite, trying to make sure that I'm getting around about the same amount. I mean, look at the pigment on that. That one was, when I swatched it, it was really buttery. I really couldn't get over how melty in the pan it was. Is that a correct term? Don't know, don't care. Too fascinated with this. Yeah, hopefully you can see. If not, well, soz. I'm very excited. So again, I'm just taking Poetry and just stamping that on top. But predominantly want Snakebite to come through, which it does rather well. Just wanted to give this a little bit of a sheen on top. Again, weird noises. I'm taking this again and I'm going into Oedipus, which is this gorgeous gold shade. And oh, actually no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Underworld, which is the black, and I'm going to pop that just here because I want to really kind of smooth that transition between these. So I'm just stamping that there. By the way, if you're wondering about the gems, I got them on Shein. I did a recent Shein haul. I will link that video down below because that's where I got them. They were part of that haul. And I'm like, oh my god, these weirdly work with this. I'm not saying I knew what was coming, but maybe I knew subconsciously what was coming. So I'm using the 237 and I'm going into Oedipus, or not Oedipus, Orpheus. That was a very Freudian slip, wasn't it? I was talking to a student about the Oedipus complex there the other day, so that may be where my mind is going. That is such a weird complex, isn't it? And I'm just popping that there and stamping it on. Look at how that shows up. Look, you don't even need me commenting on this. You can see it yourself. You have your own eyeballs. You don't need me. I am unnecessary for this, which is great. You know, when you have a palette that's this good, you don't actually have to sit down and be like, Not that I'd actually be trying to sell it. This is mine. You can't have it. You know? There we go. And what I'm going to do is take this again and go into the shade Forest. So again, it's that lovely murky green shimmer. And pop that just there between the gold and the black. So just stamping that on top. Don't worry, we're gonna sort it. We're gonna swish them together, make them be friends. So you know the drill. The E36 is coming out, and I'm going into Poetry, which is the pinky shade, and I'm just kind of putting that lightly up here and swishing that between the pink and Orpheus. See, look at me remembering names. Aren't I doing well? Well done me. Ha 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 ha. Just back and forth. Oh, I'm enjoying this. Yeah. I'll go into Orpheus and I'll go into Forest. So I'll take the two of them on the brush at the same time and just kind of blend across there so that they're kind of more evenly spread. There we go. And then I'm going to take Forest and Underworld and go out like this. Obviously I have to sort out the black a little bit more. I'm using the 237 and I'm going into the shade Footsteps. So it's this beautiful dusty pink. Do you know what, actually? I think part of what I like about this is it's giving me Give Me Glow vintage rose vibes, but don't come for me. Better. And I love that palette. I love that palette, but I think this is, well, A, there's more colours and variety, etc. But I just think this is gorgeous. Come at me. I mean, don't actually come at me because I don't have any upper body strength and I would not be able to fight you. So maybe that's the invitation that you need to come at me. So same brush again, and I'm going into Eurydice. I'm very good at pronouncing these names. You are welcome. And I'm just going to stamp that there in just an attempt to bring a bit of light there. Ooh, you could probably use that as a highlighter, to be fair. I mean, I do use Self-Love as a highlighter every so often, and that is in the Rose Metal palette. So I'm taking the Sigma E36 again. I'm just gonna blend between. It looks filthy, but I did put it through the color switch, so it's okay. We are all right. So that's essentially it. I am going to F off now, put on lashes, gems, clean all that up, and we'll come back and I'll show you a close-up of this and tell you what I think of the palette. So don't go anywhere. We still have things to do. Hi guys, I'm back. So I obviously finished off the rest of my face and I'm going to zoom you in now so you can have a little look at the eyes. So this is what the eyes look like. Like I said, that sheen liner is called Mellow. It's quite wonderful. This is just a beautiful grungy look. You can see it wasn't very difficult. It blended really, really nicely. This is what I have come to expect from Lois. I'll be honest, I was a little bit nervous because the first two palettes that she came out with them at the same time. They were so excellent that I was kind of like, oh, what is this next palette going to be like? And is it going to live up to the hype? Yes. Now, that could be me being biased because I love greens and this has really appealed to me, and I like berry tones on me. So this is very much a me palette. But of course, this is the look that I came up with. I had to use a Lois Cosmetics lash. I used the style Striking because I didn't want to have any of the foam ink ones, because I didn't want anything that was like big or would detract from this, because I actually quite like the eye look. So yeah. So what are my overall thoughts? I used about 12 out of the 16 shades and I thought they were fabulous. I was going to buy this eyeshadow palette for myself anyways, so I'm pretty happy it is in my little collection at this point. If I was to rate it out of 10, it has to be a 10. There was no flaws, it blended beautifully. This is going to be available from the 28th of April. It's going to retail for £28.99. That's a pretty darn good price, I think. Yes, it's more expensive than her Rose Metal and the Gone Rogue, which are £19.99 each. However, this has 16 shades, whereas the others had 12 shades, and this has 2 grams of product per pan versus the Rose Metal and the Gone Rogue, which had 1 gram per pan. So this is pretty, I mean, this is kind of a steal if we're 100% honest. I also really want to pick up the brushes from her. Like, they look beautiful. The green handles, like, need to have them. Yeah, I have to give it a 10 out of 10. Like, that's just what it is. I do have a code and it will get you 10% off. It is Teresa10. I'll put it down in the description box and it should get you 10% off. I'm not sure if it'll work on the new order. If it does, fantastic. If not, I still reckon it's worth the £28.99. I've gotten a lot worse for a lot more. So this is pretty darn good. Like, look, we're 4 months into the year and I know it's early to say this, but this has been my favorite palette that I have looked at so far this year. Lois, can you please come out with another one? I know you've just come out with this one, but I want another one because this is so good. So that's it, guys. Oh, actually, another note. I will have another video up after this. I want to play with this again because I want to use this as many times as I possibly can. And that's a sign that I really like it. And the next video that I will have up on this will be a giveaway for this palette. I wanted to wait until I saw what I thought of this palette because I only like to give away things that I myself really enjoy. Otherwise it's like, oh, I'm just giving away junk. But I really, really like this, so I want to give one away to you guys. So keep an eye out for the very next video on this, and we'll kind of chat through how it is that you could potentially win this one. But that's it. Do please like, comment and subscribe. Do please share, because sharing is caring, unless of course it's an STD, in which case, you know, wrap it up, don't be gross. But that's it. That's the end of the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.